There we go. Okay, I think we're live. Okay, I'm getting a little better, guys. Hey, what's up? I'm Chad. I've got some practice under my belt going live. I have a handful of Facebook groups that do different things. One of them is about real estate property. Folks like to post their properties over there. I have a handful of technology groups, React.JS, JavaScript, Node.js, quite a few others. Vue, I'm sure I have a WordPress, even an Electron, which I like very much. So here we are at my studio in Baja, California, which is Baja, Mexico. I've got an office in San Diego, in Pacific Beach, and then I've got one here in Baja. And so the short message there is, after a lot of years of running business in San Diego, I work with a lot of folks in India for many years now, and it's been easier to bring them over here to Baja and put them on our same time zone and same weather. We've got cool things like Walmart's down here, and I'm actually at the location here in Baja right now. So you can kind of see the studio is still being patched up, and the bandwidth is great. So I just wanted to take some time and spend some time with my React group. It's our group. I always call it my group, but it's all of us. And there's about 2,500 folks in there. And I can remember when I got the first few members, and I remember celebrating at 1,000 and then 2,000, and it was all about the numbers. But now I really moderate the group quite extensively. Ask lots of questions in the intro when they join. There's a bunch of a few fields they fill out. They self-assessed. They self-assess whether they feel that they're beginner, intermediate, or expert. And I think that's tough sometimes for technologists who've been in programming for a while, because we always feel like there's something more to learn. I'm certain that I am somewhere between beginner and intermediate React. I think that if I was given a task and I needed to get something done to a qualitative level for production, I'm certain that it'd be an A plus. Now, there are quite a few things I don't know about React, and I really should spend a lot more time developing React. So all of us have different ways of learning, some hands-on, some of us can learn through boot camps, and I've done a myriad of different things to try to learn React. And it's going to be a moving target, just like everything else. I mean, I still learn stuff about jQuery, even though they say that framework or library or what have you is no longer to be used. The reality is it's still widely used, right? And sometimes when I have a smaller site, I still use it. I'm not afraid to say it. I still remember when folks were saying PHP was dying in favor of Python, and now it's hanging on great. It's with Laravel, and of course WordPress still uses it, and even Facebook still uses PHP. So what am I saying here? It's time to do some React. And one of the best ways that, guys, let me go invite my React group and let them know that I'm going live. Uh, so here's my group. We're getting, we've had almost 300 new members in the past 30 days, and I've moderated a lot of those. So that means that if they didn't answer all the questions, or I felt that they were a fake account, or I don't just click approve all. I'm at a stage now where I'm really looking to develop a relationship with the folks in there. So that's why I don't need one of the 50,000 or 100,000 React groups that are out there. There's a lot of spam. There's a lot of junk. There's a lot of job posts. A lot of folks putting folks up to posting about courses for sale, and that's just no way to learn React. So in our group, we moderate pretty heavily against posts. That being said, I am selling advertising here at the header. I'm going to monetize the group a little bit, maybe to make some t-shirts, I don't know, for whatever reason. And then also, if folks want to advertise and pin to the post to the top, that's fine too. And it's going to be reasonable prices. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is it actually takes time to moderate groups. And without trailing off and going and looking at my group that has 27,000 folks where everybody's posting properties, I'm going to say that our React.js group is spam free. And a lot of the React groups, in fact, all of them that I've been members of, can't say that. We're maybe not as active as we have been in the past, but part of this going live thing, which I'm going to copy my stream, if I can get that. I have a concurrent viewer, it's probably myself. So bear with me while I try to find the share link for this video so I can invite the folks from the React group over to it. And usually, and sorry again, oh, here's the share button. And there's the link right there. So back on the point I was making is, I really want to make the React group something unlike the other React groups. So with that said, I've introduced myself as the admin. We've had other moderators, but because of the way the Facebook moderation tools are and the fact that I want to capture some of their skill levels, the members, how you guys doing? When you see this, let me get them to come in and see if anybody wants to show up. Hey guys, I'm going live and going to review and set up the Fuse React theme. You can see it in demo mode on Theme Forest or here live. And then let's send that out. So I'm gonna probably take this and I'm gonna share that. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting my feet sort of, what's a good term? I'm earning my way into understanding how to go live, getting my feet wet, finding my bearings, if you will. So today I'm actually going to go out on my LinkedIn and I'm going to invite folks from over there too. I haven't yet done that, but I'm just going to start a post and just anybody who's my connection, I'm going to tell them that hey guys, I'm going live. I'm going to review and set up the Fuse React theme. You can see it in demo mode on Theme Forest or here live. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit post. Now I did just notice right now they have a live video camera there. So I should try going live. But right now I'm using OBS software. And it looks like I've been live for 7 minutes. And yet haven't really set up the theme, the stream. So OBS is open broadcast software. And there's a way where you can get this when you basically go into YouTube or to Facebook, and I bet LinkedIn has it too, where you start a live stream and it'll give you the key, and then you go stick it in your OBS software, which I'm running here, which is going to mirror sort of infinitely down there. And you know, you can do a lot of stuff with OBS. Like I'm sharing my desktop audio, which I'll start some music here in a minute. And you can share your mic. And I'm not using any special equipment. I'm just using a $1,400 Spectre Best Buy laptop. And on top of that, I'm here in Baja, where we've got our nearshore office. And you know, a lot of the React folks know that we're recruiting to bring even more people over here. And so from time to time, you'll hear our rescues. We have some dogs that we've rescued here on the property from the town. And you might hear some barking, and then I'll rush to try to mute it. So I hope it doesn't affect too much of the stuff. But some of the things I like to do and some tips that I'll give before I get started is bandwidth is key, right? Especially your up bandwidth. But what I've noticed that I like to do is I like to put something on the screen behind me. So this is I used 4K downloader, and I downloaded a YouTube screensaver of some fish, put it on the screen up here. I do the same for the music that I'm about to play, and let me go get that. I think I have that in my cleanup folder, which how many cleanup folders do I really need, right? So then Solar Fields, I'm going to play that. So this is the Solar Fields Movements album. It's about an hour and a half long, and it's just got ambient music, and I'll just make sure that the volume is set to 5. It's just I played with the settings. And then this is actually my camera feed over here that's like from the native computer software, the Windows 10 stuff. But you can actually just share that feed directly through OBS. I'm still a new user to OBS. For Windows 10 users, you might kind of notice a little bit of an issue where you can't get your screen share to share. Maybe Google it, but basically it comes down to your video card that's native to the laptop, and then like mine has a GeForce. So OBS, being open software, it's going to work better with your native video card, and that's one tip in case you decide to start sharing screens. So let me get this music out of the way, this thing here. And there you see my OBS is now streaming my desktop audio, and then also my mic. I know it sounds a little bit echoey in here. That's maybe the allure to my new channel, is that you can see that we're going to rebuild the studio, which is really a living room here in a building where we have other little offices that we're building. We're building one on the back, and then we have the dog yards out there. And sorry about that. And so anyways, I want to mess around with some React. I've done enough of it to be dangerous, but I just know that it's such an important technology to the web today that I just need to get better at it. So rather than just talking about all the things I do to set up the channel, and this is OBS, let me go ahead and bring this out of the way. Let me get my LinkedIn out of the way. Could I go ahead and share that? Maybe I'll go over to Facebook and I'll share in a couple other groups, like my JavaScript group, which doesn't have a ton of people, but let's see who's over there. 375 members, so not bad. Go ahead and share that link. See who wants to come by. I think I had one viewer in my stream, concurrent viewers. It's probably me. But if it's not me, go ahead and chat in the chat over there. I'm trying to figure out where stuff is. And they say to go ahead and ask for the subscribe, right? So if there's any way you could help out a moderator like myself who runs these groups, keeps them spam free, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. I don't expect that I'm gonna be some major sensation on YouTube or any of these channels, but I do know that I'd like to get to 100 subscribers and be able to get my own custom URL. I think that would be a nice milestone. And then I'd like to know my subscribers too, and I do. Currently with my 7, I know who they are, and they tell me they watch, and it keeps me coming back. If it was just a bunch of people I didn't know and no one commented, or they were fake accounts, because like in the old days you could easily buy from Fiverr, you could buy 1,000 subs. I don't want to do all that. If I ever get to 1,000, that's when you can go live on your phone, by the way, and that'd be kind of neat. So right now I'm at 7. If you subscribe today, I will be forever indebted. And you can go ahead and tell me about it, and I will return the favor however I can. So, okay, I've kind of let some people come in, or at least if they're gonna come, I've sort of set up the timing, and I'm just kind of giving everybody a chance to join in. So I posted in the React group, the JavaScript group. I guess I'll go over to my Node.js group, and then I'll post in there too. And let's actually see what post is pending. Is it possible to edit HTML homepage? MERN app deployed. What? I've seen this one before. I think I'm gonna decline that one. I let that one out already and no one answered. So I don't know. Not a good one. So yeah, here's our Node group. I'm gonna post that. Okay. Node, JavaScript. I don't want to post in my Vue group. I feel like that'd be just a little bit wrong because this is React specific. I do have 2 concurrent users, so, and I know that's not both me, so I just want to say what's up. I'm not sure who you are. Feel free to say hello to me. I think the chat is here. And like I said, I'm going to look at, and here in a minute, I'm going to look at something called the Fuse React Redux theme. And I don't want to like misinterpret myself as being some React genius. Remember, I'm somewhere between beginner and intermediate, but I have been doing web development since the beginning of the web. And so I'm good at Googling things. So with your help in chat, or the fact that I'm just gonna be persistent, I bet you I can get this thing set up and running. I've used it a few different times. One of the coolest things I've done with this theme is I installed it into an Electron app, and you never know what's gonna happen. Like today, I might have some snafus with my node, or the compiler might not work, and then I'll get stressed out. But let's just try anyways. So I've used this one, and what we're gonna do to at least give everybody a taste of what this theme does is I got it off ThemeForest, and I forget the price of it. It's somewhere between 45 and maybe 70 bucks. I don't know. I'd have to look. Maybe we look on the buy now. Let's see how much this thing is. Yeah, it's I got a month left to support. Cool. Why am I not seeing the price? You have one license, buy a license. I guess it's only 28 bucks. So I gotta say a lot of positive things about this theme. It's a lot of code. There's a lot of functionality. So as a business person also, and after working with business teams, I gotta tell you, actually buying and then building is pretty wise. So that's just my opinion. Definitely my style, because I've worked in the enterprise quite a few times, and now I'm just kind of going to the React demo here. So Fuse sort of has this load up, and this being a single page application, it's supposed to sort of be more performant. And so some of the functionality that it has, you may have seen in other, admin dashboards, but it's got a calendar, which is nice. It's got products, for like showing you how to list products. That's nice. It's got a product detail page, so it's got lots of cool stuff. Of course, it has a to-do app, which is really nice, for folks who are learning React. I think that this would really jumpstart what you're doing. And then a file manager, contacts. It's got this little widget over here, and you could plug in, a chat system into that. Maybe Slack would be cool if you could figure out the API piece. The Scrum board, I think, is pretty neat because it sort of shows you how you can create a list and then add it, and then you can kind of add a card and then add it, and then there's you can even attach files or make comments. It's very cool stuff. It's not persisting to a database, it's sort of in memory, but it wouldn't be too tough to tie it in. You got a whole bunch of configuration settings that either you could give to the user and whatnot, or at least set up the theme the way you want it. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, let's just go down and, what I basically do as a web application developer for so many years, before I build something and I use it for myself, I go and shop around, and I do a certain amount of grabbing stuff that's already qualitatively done, and then modify it from there. Maybe that's why I don't feel like I'm very strong with React, only because with React you can really start granular, and I'm a remote worker, so there's not a bunch of folks around the water cooler talking React with me. So I've had to learn my own way, but I have a small Discord group with some really smart React folks, so I'm conversational enough. All right, but yeah, definitely somewhere between beginner and intermediate, and hopefully things like this will take me out of my comfort zone, and I can start figuring out how to do React in a deeper way. So yeah, go ahead and say what's up to me in the chat, and please subscribe. I'll be happy to get to know you and meet you, and I'm going to be becoming hands-on more with React. I think that we all kind of want to see what that can look like. So I've used this theme by Fuse a few times, and like I said, I've been able to put it into an Electron app, and if I can pull that together, let me show you at least on my YouTube what that looks like. If I go over to my channel, I'm hearing some sort of whistling. Okay, I'll go live. That was a couple tests. I have some videos, and then here's one that I did where I forget what framework I used. Right now it's slipping my mind. I probably put it in the notes. So here's that same Fuse theme application, and then I used some sort of AI framework that's in JavaScript, and the name is slipping me right now. But I was able to, because I put that, let me put that back on, because I put that inside of Electron, that's when you're dealing with Chromium, and I was able to be able to use the web view tag, which you can usually use on mobile. And so this basically served up a JavaScript application that's inside the application, but it's not fully integrated in React. So that's kind of a tricky way sometimes when you're developing and you're like, we can't rewrite everything in React. but we want a cohesive environment. I wish I could, it starts with a P. The name will come back to me, but it's a tracking AI application that actually learns who you are over time, and then I use that to automatically open the screen and close it when I walk away after a period of time, and it comes back and it recognizes me and it reopens the screen, and it's in Electron. It could be a little better integrated, and it was just a beta test sort of deal. But yeah, like I said, I've used Fuse and then got it working in Electron, which wasn't super simple. It might be easier these days. This was quite a few months back. And so it's a desktop application running web as React, but then I also embedded other stuff that's legacy, or when I say legacy, not React code, but like just pure JavaScript or jQuery even, but running in its own directory and served up through the WebView tag. So the reason why I like that is because it's a dashboard manager, and you can basically start to house like Gmail directly into the application. And I don't want to get too much on the React side plus Electron, but that's where my experience has kind of led me. But back over to the Fuse React app, it's only $30 and it's on ThemeForest, and I really like it because there's just a lot of working code that's really helpful. So like if I have a client or I go work for like an enterprise company and they got a bunch of folks on the team, but the executives want to get stuff done, I will tell them, look, I've assessed endless amounts of themes on Wrap Bootstrap and on ThemeForest, and themes like these that are really healthy are also they'll put them out in React and in Vue and in Angular 1 and 2. They'll have pure JavaScript version. They'll have no, they won't have any legacy jQuery, but they'll even do .NET stuff. It depends on the theme that you buy. So I like this one a lot. I'm not sure what else I should show you in this thing other than, maybe go over to the demo and see for yourself where it's running, where you can get your own live preview, and it's got a bunch of configurations, colors, and themes. So now we're gonna actually get it to build. So let's get it to run. I have it on my desktop here, and it's from ThemeForest, and I'm gonna right click and do extract all. And then I'm gonna start up my my GitHub so I can my GitHub desktop so that I can get access to some code that I have. Please stand by while that launches. And then here we go. Let's just get Visual Studio Code going. And then I'm going to start a new window. And I'm getting like in the habit of being able to talk and develop. So let me get a little more comfortable here. And I'm gonna go ahead and set the directory to this thing. There's the demo, and then there's the skeleton, and then there's the Photoshop files. I think we're gonna wanna use the demo, so I'm gonna extract that. And from what I remember, you basically just run, you install npm install and then npm start, and it'll build and then run. So let's see if we can get that lucky today. There's been times where my local environment has been sort of all over the board, and it's been a little while since I've worked with it. So if it doesn't work, this is live, I'll work through it, and we'll get it running. So it's kind of a big zip. That's why they have the skeleton there. And let's go ahead and see about waiting on that. It's been about 60 seconds. And then while that's happening, I'm going to set my directory to the demo directory that's filling up right now, hopefully. Right there. So I'm going to take that path in VS Code, which we all know is one of the best editors out there now, for a lot of good reasons. So let me just add a folder to Workspace, and we'll go and put this path here. In Windows, you can just put the path and hit enter, and I'm at that directory, so I add that there, and we can kind of work with the files. Then you can go to terminal, new terminal, and then from right in here, when this thing's done, I think it's done. Let's take it nice and slow. Looks like I'm going to be using the PowerShell command line integrated here. So let's go. I believe it's npm install. And then it's going to read the package file if I did that correctly. And it's going to go and fetch all the packages, and it's going to start to build, I believe in here, a node modules directory, if I'm looking in the right folder. So there's the source folder and there's the public folder. And again, it's been a little while for me, guys. So please, if I make some silly, dumb mistakes, I've literally been focusing on online marketing stuff, some WordPress stuff, other type of coding. It's been a little while, you know, so that's why I wanted to come back to the React group, you know, and just get some things going for you guys and just get stronger with React, right? I mean, that's what we all want to do. So, yeah, no big deal. I mean, I know a lot of you folks in the group are on the other side of the world and you're probably sleeping right now. So when you wake up and you see this video in your feed, I hope that it gives you, some of you beginners, or some of you guys are a little more intermediate, but you'd like to see something that's like already completely built, get built, and then I'll make some mods. Maybe that'll be interesting to you. But yeah, so yeah, there's the node modules directory. It's finally getting created and all the little packages are going in there. So we'll just kind of wait. Taking its time, it's downloading everything. I'm wondering if the music is too loud. It might be. Let me check. What setting do I have it at? I noticed at 5 it was probably the best. Okay, I'm still at 5. So this is a huge application. So there is an investment into taking on so much code and then wanting to build it out or modify some of it. But like their whiteboard application, I think I did modify that and used it for, I can't recall, for building dynamic web views, which is basically the web view tag. And again, remember, I took this application in React and wrapped it with Electron, which is a desktop cross-platform application with Chromium and Node, and of course React. So that was pretty helpful. When you do a model like that, sometimes you don't even really need database. You can write files in the secure folder there and use JSON files to kind of keep data specific to the local user. In a lot of ways, I consider some of that to be a little more secure. It just depends on how you define your security. By not putting the data over transport over the web, a lot of times a user can save their local configurations, their local web view selections, like the path to their own Gmail or a Google Doc path, and all that data is saved locally. It's never saved in a database somewhere. And those files and those endpoints, they are encrypted, right? But all in all, when you're talking about links that you're pulling in from the web, when you build a web view application inside of Electron with this React app, yeah, again, that's why I kind of like that hybrid model of a desktop application. So you'll hear me talk a lot about React and Electron with Node and Chromium as a browser. What's nice is you can target one browser when you take that model. There's Node WebKit or NW, I guess, NW.js. I forget what they call it now exactly, but Electron is definitely more popular. And in fact, VS Code was built with it, Skype's used it. A ton of desktop applications use Electron, including Slack. And they all contribute back. So, okay, so we're done there, and the compilation is complete. There's all the node modules. That's a ton of node modules. So I still kind of have my opinion about, do we really need so many packages to keep up to date when we have our builds? Because you can see that when I ran my install, that there's already deprecated stuff. And we got to go into our node package manager and upgrade stuff, and there's a lot of extra work there. But there's a lot of value to the package manager model. That's the standard nowadays. So that's my point there. And then Now that it's all there, we just basically go npm start, I believe. I didn't read the documentation, but if my memory serves me well, that's going to do the compilation of the CSS. Yeah, there it goes. And now we're going to get the app here in a minute. It's going to launch a local web server, and then a browser, and then we'll be able to play with the app. And I forget if this has hot reloading or not. I think it may. So here it comes on localhost port 3000. And it takes a little while to start up. And that's another thing. When working with Electron without React, it can be really fast to develop because you can just reload the page. You can set up a hot reloader setting with, well, a number of ways you can do it. So yeah, we're still waiting for it to complete its compile, and then it's going to show up in the browser any minute here. See if there's an error. Still starting the development server. Nothing like live TV. Is like, is this thing gonna work? It's still loading. Seems to be taking longer than it needs to. There might be something blocking the port, but I don't think so. I wonder if OBS, no, I don't know. I think we just give it a little bit of time. As it starts the development server, it'll time out, I guess, if it doesn't. Let's see if we can get it on another channel. Go to localhost :3000 and see if it's waking up over here. So nothing like a live demo. Nothing like a live demo where the server doesn't want to, because the page is not working. Well, that's helpful. So why not? Localhost didn't send any data, clearly. But it's still spinning. So I wonder if I can get my money back. No, I'm kidding. I think it might have something to do with the OBS software that I'm running, maybe. That's the only other server that I know that I'm running. And maybe there's a conflict. So we could probably change the port. All right, let's stop it. You know, let's just stop it and then do a little bit of, like I said, my local environment might be a little bit weird. So I forget, what's the command for running the local HTTP server in node local HTTP server? I think that I'm running like npx. I think that's, I've had to do that. And again, I'm not the smartest when it comes to Node, but there is a command that'll run npx and then the local web server. I think it's the server's called how to run npx HTTP server. There's the HTTP server there. Start server locally. I think we might have just looked at that one. Maybe I can just start the server on my own and maybe even start it on a different port. Because I noticed I was having an issue when let's go npm install HTTP-server. And normally, like when I have a fresh environment, I think you just go HTTP-server and it just starts the server in the directory that you're in. and then that should allow us to hit the local server. But I had installed so many things that I think that like I made my system mad. That's the most technical thing I can say. No, it's probably high time that I reinstall my box. But I noticed before when I run npx, I can get it to run npx http server local node server. Yeah, npx server. That's not it. Is that it? Yeah, that's for running the server file name. I don't know. I'll try anything at this point. But now that we've installed HTTP server, I think you can just go http-server. See, I get an error, but if I go npx and npx server, that's probably not what I wanted. And this is about the time when you hope that you have people in your chat like, hey, do this, do that. But I'll hack on it. npx, I could have swore maybe I could run it. Script name, what is the script name? It's going to be an src. It might be index.js. Probably not. Now let's get out of this. I'm making my computer mad. All right, let's see. npx http-server. Let's see. There we go. My memory finally got me. So here we're running on port 8080, likely in this directory. So let's see if we can get something to show up. Still nothing. Page isn't working. So why is that? There we go. Okay, so that's how you do that. So again, it's my local environment that I've just installed so many things and so many late nights just sort of thrashing a little bit too much on this box. But I was able to start up npx and then the http-server, it runs. And then I just went to the index.html file, and I believe this is okay. But you know what plugin you really need is the React. Oh, we got some errors, guys. Status of 400, bad request. Oh no, so yeah, it's actually not processing the public URL stuff. So maybe I called the wrong file. All right, so let's go back. And let's figure out what's going on here. The demo file's here. Maybe I'll read the README. Let's try that. So it says, oh, yarn. Maybe I'll use yarn. Okay, you do yarn start, localhost, yarn run build. My bad. Okay, nothing like reading the directions. All right, let's kill the server. We go yarn run build. That's right, this is a yarn dealio. I should probably delete the node modules directory and then run yarn. And then according to the README, it says once you do yarn run build, you can do an eject, but you don't want to do that most of the time, and then yarn start. So if this doesn't work, then I'll delete the node modules directory. I'll use yarn instead of node, instead of npm, I mean. And then we'll just do the yarn run build and then yarn start and then hope for the best. Yeah, this seems to be giving us, if my memory serves me correctly, this seems to be giving us a better compilation. So we'll just stand by while this, let me get my camera going. You guys can see me stressing. We'll stand by while yarn does all the hard work. Uh-oh. All my rescue dogs are getting a little wild out there. So let me, are we muted? I hope we're not muted. Might be muted. Oh, no, no. There seems to be mic audio coming. Oh, it's muted from the feedback. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm still learning a ton about how to go live and whatnot. And we're just waiting for the optimized build. But they say it's a bad practice to use npm and then do an install, because you'll get the package.json, and then that's in the directory that locks stuff. And then you go into yarn, and yarn has a yarn.lock file. So this isn't the cleanest setup at all. I'd definitely redo this over. But let's just kind of see when this thing gets around to finishing up. And like I said, I may have to actually go into the directory and remove the node modules directory and then rerun all this. And this is why this is my 15th video and why I'm not yet intermediate React. No. But I mean, I've made some stuff, and I'd like to make a lot more. So I'm happy to sit here and just kind of talk while this thing builds. This really seems like it's hanging, doesn't it? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now that it's done yarn run build and it's finally done building, we should be able to go yarn start and then cross our fingers, for goodness sake. If not, we clear the node modules directory, remove the package lock files, the package.-lock.json. I'm getting a development server starting up again on 3000, and let's hope we don't have to sit through this again for another timeout. So just stand by. I probably need to update my my node or my yarn. It's been a little while. Yeah, I feel like we would have seen the banner by now. You just never know. Not looking promising, guys. Yay. I'm out of patience here. While it's starting the development server. Is it supposed to be using Node? Kind of missed my nap today. Oh, look at that. It's finally coming to life. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. So what's the lesson we learned today, guys? Read the README. Because instead I did the npm install to make the node modules directory, and then I did npm start, and it bailed. But you're supposed to use yarn run build, which is in the doc, and then yarn start. So here we have the app running in our own little local host. And so, like, you know, nothing too fancy, but I mean, if you wanted to, if you're like really beginner in some ways, you can do a find file in the local directory for anything called John Doe, and then I can replace all of it with Chad Collins and really get down to start modifying this to be our app. So I don't know if this thing's got hot reload or not. I don't think it does, or else it would have just reloaded when it saw a change right there. Oh, it does have hot reload. It's then corrected. So that means not, as a developer, not having to hit the reload button so much. And there's Chad Collins. And then there's my email. So now that we've got that, we go like this. We'll put my real email in there. And any of you guys can email me, REACT.JS at chadcollins.com. You got to hit enter here, find them all, and then do the replace. There's only 8 of them. And then you're going to see that this thing's going to hot reload now because of the development server, and then saves you a little bit of time. So glad that's working because I was ready to hack on it. So there's the email. And then the nice thing about this is it will save locally any of your sort of layouts. Let's change it up. Go to layout 3. And you've got all these little tools and little gadgets and gadgets. You can display the toolbar or not. Kind of cool stuff. I really like this theme. Like, I'd love to use this on a very big project. Like I said, I've already done it on that one beta for noob.ai, and I just can't remember the name of the AI framework that I used. It does the facial recognition. I don't know why. It's been 7-8 months, and it's been kind of a long day. So I'll probably note it in the comments later. But like, let's say we wanted to maybe modify some other stuff. It's real easy to just change basic content. But I believe that some of these have widgets and gadgets and dashboards. But as I mentioned, I wrapped all of this into an Electron app. And in this area here, I put a web view tag. And I made it so that this menu, which is actually in JSON, like if we look for e-commerce here, with, and I think if we just do like match case, you're gonna find probably there's gonna be the JS file right here. You know, that's a compiled one. There's the config right there. So what I really like about this one, this app, this theme, guys, this Fuse app, is it has the entire navigation in a JSON file. So like when I put this into when I wrapped this with Electron, I was able to read and write this file and basically update new menu items, new paths to URLs that I load inside the WebView container. Is really helpful because you can, believe it or not, making the menus work to be dynamic can be a lot of coding, and it's really nice to have a JSON-driven menu. So another reason why I like Fuse. So I think that's probably enough for now to kind of show you that this is a really deeply rich functional React application. It could answer a lot of business requirements from day one. Because a lot of times day one in a team, they're like, we need some prototyping, we need something to work. And it's like, well, these guys who made this Fuse app really built their own little mini framework inside of there. And it's called Fuse. And they have, like, once you buy it, they give you access to their repo. So whenever they have bugs, they fix them. If you find a bug before they do, I think that's kind of odd because there's been thousands of installs. They'll actually contact you, but if you find one, yeah, they'll knock it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go over to Theme Forest and show you guys where you can get it. I'm not an affiliate, so there's the Angular version of Fuse. Here's the Fuse React. Not an affiliate, but just a fan. And I want to help you guys out, and like here's their demo where you can get some of the different configurations. But again, that was how we do it. You spend 30 bucks, yarn, run, build, yarn, start, then you have all the source and you can start modifying the menus. And like I said, I wrapped mine a certain way to work with it. So this has been awesome. I'm so glad it only took 49 minutes. Next time I do this, if I use Fuse again, it'll take 10 minutes because I'll read the README file. So hey, I'm saying what's up to all you guys in my React group, the Node group, the JavaScript group, and everybody on LinkedIn who didn't log in when I went live, but I hope you watch this later. And don't forget to subscribe because I'm going live, all right? I don't know. You got to come up with a tagline, right? Take care, guys. Thanks for checking me out.